Hey everyone, it's John. Welcome to the channel where I talk about lots of different topics in clear natural English and you can check your listening with quizzes. このチャンネルはいろんなトピックを優しい自然な英語で話します。リスニングクイズにも頑張ってください。Today's topic is talking about the seasons, so let's begin. So a lot of people say that Japan is a very seasonal country. And I think there's kind of two meanings behind this. The first, of course, being that Japan is located above the equator being the line that you see on a world map. Japan is situated above that, meaning that geographically, Japan is going to have seasons as opposed to a tropical country near the equator. But I think a lot of people mean that Japan, culturally speaking, is a very seasonal country. So what does this mean? It means that Japan has a lot of festivals and events that are centered around the changing of the seasons and about natural wonders. If I talked about every event that Japan has throughout the year, I think this video would be way too long. So I'm just going to touch on a few of them and take a year-round tour of the seasons. So starting with spring, I of course have to mention the cherry blossom events that happen in Japan. The cherry blossom flower is even Japan's national flower, so it's a very big deal. For those who don't know, there are many places you can go to view the cherry blossom when it's in full bloom, and there are food stalls, often live music, places to sit and have picnics. It's a really nice day out for family and friends. Some people might enjoy spring because of that. Others might just enjoy the nice weather that spring brings. These events are often very popular and very crowded. So I think recently the way in which people view cherry blossoms is changing because of coronavirus. A lot of people are trying to find more quieter places to enjoy the cherry blossom viewing, which doesn't mean that it's been ruined. You can still enjoy the nature, enjoy the scenes. In fact, I might argue that people are experiencing the cherry blossom in a more nature-focused way. I personally really enjoy spring, but it's not my absolute favorite season. Let's move on to summer. I hate summer. I do not handle the heat well at all. Do you know how to say mushiatsui in English? You could say hot and humid, a very humid heat, or you could just say a very hot, sticky heat. But there are so many nice things you can do in the summer, including having barbecues, going to the beaches. I love going to the beach and going for a swim, but I try and wait for a slightly cooler day to do that. Some people at the beach are sun worshippers, as we say, meaning that they really enjoy sunbathing and getting a suntan. I haven't met too many people in Japan that are sun worshippers. Okay, it's quiz time. So let's see how well you did with your listening. Question 1. What is the name of the line on a world map going through the middle? It's called the Equator. Question 2. True or false, spring is my favorite season. I said I like it, but it's not my favorite season, so false. Question 3. What is another way of saying hot and sticky? Hot and humid. It's also the more, correct scientific way of saying it. Let's move on to autumn. Autumn or fall. Which one do you say? America usually says fall. Most other countries, I looked this up, go with autumn. So, be prepared to hear either. Say whichever you like. Autumn is my favorite season for the very childish reason that it is the season furthest away from next summer. I really hate the humid heat that much. And another reason why I really enjoy the koryo, the changing of the colors of the leaves. There's no real good way to say koryo. Back when I lived in Tokyo, I went to Mount Takao, which is probably one of the first hiking trips I had when I came to Japan. And I arrived in Japan at the start of October, so it was a perfect season for seeing the falling leaves. Now, of course, I live in Nara, so that's too far to go. Now I really like going to Arashiyama. If you live close to Arashiyama or you're visiting, I really recommend there's a boat trip that you can do. You can take a train. It's not like a normal train, it's more like a steam train. Yeah, old-fashioned looking train. You can take it up to this station. I can't remember the name right now. I'll write it in the description. And once you get there, you can take a boat ride that goes all the way downstream, and the view of the autumn leaves during that time is absolutely stunning. Bring a jacket, it does get very cold. And one of the things that makes this boat ride really unique, very different to anything else, is towards the end there is a boat that comes to your boat. They join the boats together and they sell you snacks and drinks. And moving along finally to the winter, I'm sure there's a lot of people that really enjoy the winter because of winter sports, whether it's skiing or snowboarding or even just sledding. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say I've never actually been skiing or snowboarding. The closest I've come to snowboarding is I went to a mountain in Scotland with my cousins, and we used some old skateboards, took the wheels off, and tried to use them as kind of a sleds, kind of as snowboards. But as you can probably guess, if you've ever been snowboarding, that didn't work at all. But it was a fun day. But I have been sledding. That is lots of fun. Please try it if you haven't. You may also think of Christmas, New Year's, and winter festivals. Japan has festivals all year round. From the pictures I've seen of Hokkaido's white winter illumination, it looks incredible and I'd love to go someday. I have been to Hokkaido, but I was just a little bit too early for those festivals. Lastly, I'd like to just quickly talk about the UK. Some people say that the UK is not seasonal. People often joke that the UK has like a 2-week summer, which it can feel like that sometimes, and the rest just being one big wet season. The truth is, geographically, the UK has seasons pretty much the same as Japan does. We do get a lot of rain. Some stereotypes are true. But, you know, we still have seasons. You just have to go out and, you know, you can find beautiful places all year round, different landscapes, falling leaves, places to go for spring. Yeah, I'm not really sure why people say that we have them. We have seasons. What we don't have, however, is the same amount of culture behind the seasons. So maybe culturally speaking, the UK is not very seasonal. That could be one argument. We, of course, think of Christmas being winter, Easter being spring, but that just happens to be when those holidays are, and they're not actually celebrating or being about the season itself, if that makes sense. That was a little bit complicated. Sorry. Okay, last round of questions. Question 1. What makes the boat trip in Arashiyama unique or different? There's another boat that joins you and offers snacks and drinks. Question 2. Out of skiing, snowboarding, and sledding, how many have I tried? Like, really tried. I've only tried sledding, not real snowboarding. 1. And last question, true or false, I really enjoyed the winter illumination in Hokkaido. That is false. I've never been. I was a little bit too early when I visited Hokkaido. So that's it. We have taken a tour around the seasons. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. If you didn't do as well as you hoped on some of the questions, I have put a list of key words and phrases that you might not know and that I think are important. I have added those to the description, and they are time-stamped, so you can find them, click on them, watch that bit again if you need to. But in any case, please let me know how well you did in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please show some love, and I will see you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.